Hello, join me for a early morning mobility routine. We start by rolling our shoulders and breathing in and out and just relaxing our bodies. Now let's move to our hands and knees for a cat-cow pose. So you arch your back while you breathe in and look up, and then you draw your navel in as you breathe out. It's important to start the movement at your hips as you arch and round your spine. This should feel really good for the back. Return your spine to a neutral position. Take your one elbow up to the sky and thread the needle where you put your shoulder on the ground and feel a nice stretch. And we're going to do this moving, so you repeat the motion 3 times, and for the third time we're just going to hang there at the bottom to feel a nice stretch in your upper back. It's important that your hips stay parallel to the ground. Let's return to neutral and repeat the motion on the other side. From here, let's set our hips back and walk our hands forward for a nice child's pose. Just relax your body. You can walk your hands from one side to the other for an extra stretch along your side. From here, move into a downwards facing dog, so you point your sit bones to the sky and pedal out your calves if that feels good. Take one leg up and over your body if you can do this. This should be a really nice side stretch. Then you bring that leg that was at the top forward into a deep forward lunge and rotate your body towards the knee that is bent. Try to push your elbow to the floor and rotate up again. This should feel really good in your upper spine, and you should feel a stretch in your hip joints. From here, drop your back knee to the floor and come up straight into a kneeling lunge. Tuck your pelvis under and press forward as you take your back arm up towards the sky to feel a really nice stretch in your hip flexor and your side hip as well. This movement should be dynamic, so you hinge forward and release, relax again. Press forward and then you hold it there for a few seconds. From there, grab your hind leg for an extra quad stretch as well. It's important to keep your upper body upright towards the sky as you do the stretch. Now let's stretch out our calf and hamstrings of the front leg, so you can just straighten that leg and then you move it side to side, bend and straighten it again until you feel a nice stretch. Keeping it dynamic, which means just moving it around as you stretch. Now let's switch to the other side, so back into a downward facing dog. Take up the other leg to the sky and over to feel a very nice side stretch, and just hold it there if you can. And from there we're going to swing it forward into our deep lunge, doing our upper body rotation. So towards the leg which is bent, you rotate up, bring it back down, bring your elbow as close to the ground as you can, and then back up. You do 6 on the one side. Let's do one more. From here, you can drop your back knee to the floor, sit up tall, tuck your pelvis under, and squeeze your glute muscle as you press forward into this hip flexor stretch. You can take your arm up and over for an additional side stretch. Keep this movement dynamic, which means you press forward and relax, press forward and relax. From here, grab your hind leg for an additional quad stretch. It's important to never overstretch any of your muscles, so don't force a stretch. It should just feel comfortable. From here, we can straighten our front leg, lift your toe from the ground, and then you just roll your leg, bend and straight it wherever you feel a stretch in your calf and hamstrings. From here, let's push back into a downwards facing dog again. Press your ears between your arms, your sit bone to the sky, and then pedal your calves. Okay, now let's move into a hip 90-degree angle. So you bend your legs, keep your heels close to your legs, and then we bend over to one side, and you can rotate your body to your back leg for a nice side and upper body stretch. From here, we're going to lift our hips from the floor in this position. So you lift up and back down. We're going to do this movement 6 times. This should not feel any strain in your knees. If you feel a strain, then bring your heels closer to your thigh. Now let's bring our back leg over the front leg for a nice deep glute stretch and the upper body twist. And then you twist your body towards the back leg to feel a nice upper body and the glute stretch. And just breathe deeply. Now we do the same on the other side. So let's first get our legs in the 90-90 position, your heels against your thighs, and then we lift our hips from the ground and back down. It's important to control this movement. You shouldn't fall back down, and keep your core engaged. So keep your upper body straight and upright as you do this movement. From here, let's bring our back leg over the front leg for that beautiful glute stretch and upper body twist, and take deep breaths in this position. Let's move on to our backs for the next few exercises. Bring your heels towards your bum, engage your core, so tuck your pelvis under, take your arms to the side, and then on your toes you let your knees fall to one side while keeping your opposite shoulder on the ground, then stretching it straight and folding it over. From there you open up like a book while you keep your knees on the ground, trying to put this opposite shoulder on the ground. And you do movements with that arm to feel a very nice stretch in your pec muscles. The trick here is to let your knees stay on top of each other on the other side. So you should feel a very nice stretch in your upper body. Then breathe out, bring your knees back up, and let's repeat it on the other side. Try to keep the top knee on top of the bottom knee, so not letting it slide back. Bring that opposite arm over, and then you Fold open your upper body and your chest, doing the arm movements up and down in this position. Just check to see if your knees are stacked on top of each other. Pull your one knee towards your chest and straighten the other leg. You can roll that knee in your hip joint a few times before taking it over to the other side while keeping your opposite shoulder on the floor for a lower back stretch. You can move it in that position just where it feels good, and then we do the same with the other leg. From here, let's bring our legs in, and we're gonna do a few core activation breathing exercises. So we're gonna breathe out, breathe in, push your navel to the floor, breathe out, relax. Breathe out, push your navel to the floor, and on this one, you lift your bum from the ground, take your arms up, above head, roll your hips down while you keep your hands there, and then bring your arms back down towards your hips. Lift your bum from the ground, take your arms up above head, bring down your bum, rolling it down, and then releasing your arms to the sides, and just move it as a snow angel. So you keep it straight and you make big snow angel movements, and twist your hands as you go up, your palms face up, and as you come down, your palms face down. This should feel really good in your shoulders. Let's make our way onto our stomachs, and then we stretch our body straight, activate your core, so pull your navel in, lift your upper body, and then move your arms above head to the side in a circular motion, behind. Take your hands and then stretch your chest open. It's important here to keep your core engaged to protect your lower back. From here, we push up, put our hips back onto our feet for a child's pose. Take a few breaths here. Let's make our way onto our side in a modified plank position. So your bottom leg is bent, you press your hip up and forward, stretch yourself long before you take your hand back and to take your foot at the back, pressing your foot into your hand while you keep your bottom side lifted from the floor. Stretch yourself straight again and grab your foot again. From here, lower down and take your arm over to feel a nice stretch in that side. One more time. Now let's move to the other side and repeat this movement. So first we move into a modified plank position. Ensure that your elbow is underneath your shoulder. Stretch yourself long and then grab your foot at the back. Press your foot into your arm. Stretch your hand and foot long again, and then you grab your foot again. And lower down. Let's do a few of those side stretches, stretching up and over. From here, let's straighten one leg while bending the other, and we do another side stretch, stretching your hand up and over. You should feel the stretch in your calf, hamstring, and in your side. We do this in a dynamic way, so you stretch, hold it there for a second or two, and move back up, and then you repeat it. Now let's do the same on the other side. So roll your hips forward, and then you do the stretch up and over. From here, we're gonna sit on our knees. So let's first plant our toes so that we get a nice stretch across our feet as well. Clasp your hands behind your back, look straight ahead, and then lift your arms to feel a nice stretch in your pecs, so the front part of your shoulders. Then as you bring your hands down, then pull your shoulder blades apart, and then lift and pull them back again. Now put the back of your hands in the arch of your back, pulling your chest open, and then bringing your shoulders forward and your chin to your chest to roll your spine. And then you repeat this motion a few times. Now let's move into a cross-legged position. Sit up straight with your back, rolling your hips forward, and then turn your head to one side and then to the other. Let's repeat this movement to the one side and then the other side. From here, tilt your head with your ear to your shoulder, feeling a nice stretch to the side of your neck. Then on the other side. Now do the same motion, and then bring your hand above your head and just do a gentle push of your head down towards the ground on the side. This should not be a forceful movement, but very gentle. From here, let's bring our feet together for a butterfly stretch. To make the stretch a little bit more dynamic, you can put pressure in your inner thighs by pressing against your elbows and then releasing again. Press them in against your elbows and release to make it a more active stretch. Let's finish this session by crossing our legs and stretching our hands up, breathing in and then leaning over to one side. Thank you so much for joining me for this morning stretch routine. If you would like to do more of my sessions, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. See you next time.